mind to muscle connection isn't magic. But I do think a lot of lifters are leaving gains on the table because they don't even use the mind muscle connection at all. This only works if you're already training hard. If you aren't training hard at all, mind muscle connection isn't going to get you the results you want. It'll help, but it's not what you need. You need to first learn how to train hard. Training hard is a prerequisite to mind muscle connection. After you've already trained hard, then you can think about mind muscle connection. Before I get into anything, I want to make it clear. What I'm about to say does not mean you should ignore weight and reps. You need to still focus on those things. Those things are very important. If your weight and your reps are not going up over time, that literally means you're not progressing. If you're not progressing, that means you're not getting any bigger. The mind muscle connection isn't gonna fix that. It'll help, but it's still, you need to first focus on weight and reps and then think about mind muscle connection. Use the mind muscle connection as a supplement to your workout. If you don't already know, the mind muscle connection kind of is what it already sounds like. It literally means connecting to your muscle with your mind. So you can better activate that muscle, so you can better feel the tension. The main thing with this, you don't want to feel extra pain. That's not the point of mind muscle connection. The point of it is to feel the extra tension so you can get a better pump, so you can get better gains out of your muscle. I've noticed whenever I do focus on the mind muscle connection, I get way better pumps. Lately, I haven't been really focusing on. I've been focusing on the weight and reps. But whenever I lock in onto the muscle itself, my pump is way better. It's not even close. So if you want to improve your mind muscle connection, there are a few things you can do. The first thing that completely changes it is slowing the movement down. If you slow the movement down, you're literally giving your brain more time to connect with that muscle. More time to connect with the muscle literally means it's just easier to have a mind muscle connection. Not everyone has the mind muscle connection like immediately. It is something that you have to kind of build. It's not like an innate feature. Some people have it better than others, but from what I've seen, most beginners, they just can't even connect to the muscle. They have to do certain techniques before they can get there. Slowing the movement down is one of them. Controlling the weight is what you want to do. You don't have to count the time. You don't have to go 3 seconds up, 5 seconds down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You don't have to do that weird. Just control the weight. The next thing is unilateral work. So for example, on bicep curls, a lot of people do 2 arms at a time. What if you just did 1 arm at a time? When you do 2 arms at a time, your focus is split into both of your biceps. Get the weight up on both arms. But what if you can just tunnel vision onto one bicep? You can do that by just doing that arm first and then doing the other arm. There's a con with this that it literally doubles the time because you're doing one and then the next. But I generally think it's worth it. If you don't have the time, then you don't have to do this. But if you have the time, I think this is better because it will get you a better pump. You will connect with your muscle better. Then you will get better gains. And the next thing is visual and tactile aid, which is just fancy words for looking and touching. So a lot of people, whenever they do bicep curls, they usually do it in front of a mirror. So they're just looking at themselves. And some of those people don't even look at themselves. They're looking at like some gym girl over there and be like, oh yeah. Our brains think of what we are looking at. So if you are looking at that gym girl over there, you're going to be thinking about her. You're going to be thinking about, oh, she's so hot. Okay, dude, ignore her. How about instead you look at your biceps, whether that be in the mirror or you're looking straight down and just physically looking at your biceps. Then you are going to think about your biceps. You're going to connect with your biceps more. You could take this a step further by looking at it, and if you're doing unilateral work, take your other arm and touch your bicep while you're doing the curl. Now imagine the visual and tactile aid you're gonna get after you've mastered the mind-muscle connection, after your bicep is so huge. That one hot gym girl you're staring at, she's gonna be like touching your bicep. She's gonna give you tactile aid, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah. And the next thing you can do is basic anatomy understanding. Now I'm not telling you to go buy a biology book and start studying all the chapters. You don't have to do that. What you really have to do is just like search up a picture of the chest, for example. The chest has 3 main parts: upper, middle, and lower. Understand which direction the fibers are going. So next time you're doing upper chest, the upper chest fibers go this way. They go to your opposite ear. So you can literally think, oh yeah, my upper chest fibers are activating this way because the fibers go this way. It just gives you something a little more concrete to think about rather than the whole chest. You can think about one part of the chest. You can connect even more with that single part of the chest. But again, not many people need to do this. It's not gonna completely change the game, but it will make a difference. There is a place for the mind muscle connection. You don't have to do it for every single set. It is best to do it for isolation work and hypertrophy type movements. It is not a good idea to do it for heavy compound lifts. Like if you're doing heavy squats, you don't need to be focusing on the mind muscle connection. You need to be focusing on the squat itself. You need to be focused on getting the rate up with good form. Like whenever I'm doing heavy squats, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, my quads are activating this way, my glutes, like my glutes, my glutes. No, I'm gonna be trying to get maximum effort. That's what I need. Again, don't use the mind muscle connection as the lone factor in training. You still need to include weight and reps. You still need progressive overload. The mind muscle connection is just a supplement. The weight challenges the muscle, but the mind makes sure that the muscle actually took a hit. For your next workout, incorporate the mind muscle connection into at least one movement. It can be any isolation work. I know for a fact that once you incorporate this, you're gonna get a better pump. I promise you that. Train hard first, and then you can train smarter. Use the mind muscle connection to get more out of what you're already doing. You know what to do, bro. Get up and get after it.